Hello, everyone. I'm Charlotte Baker, Chairman of the Board of the Tampa Bay Wave. I'd like to welcome you and thank you for joining us for this CyberTech X Accelerator Pitch Night. The CyberTech X Accelerator is a 100% cybersecurity focused cohort with 14 companies from throughout the United States and one from the UK. Many of these companies are oversubscribed on their rounds, and many of these companies have already received federal grants and contracting arrangements to work with the federal government and departments like the DoD. Some of these companies have even received acquisition inquiry, even at this early embryonic stage of their companies. I hope tonight you will enjoy listening to their pitches, bringing their companies out in public view to talk to you about their journey ahead in defending consumers, businesses, and countries. Thank you for attending.
All right. Well, thank you, Charlotte Baker. We are so fortunate at Tampa Bay Wave to have Charlotte Baker as the chair of the Tampa Bay Wave board. Not only is she an excellent woman entrepreneur, but she's also CEO and founder of a cyber-tech company herself, Digital Hands. And thank you, all of you who are attending tonight, for watching our CyberTech X Accelerator Program Pitch Night. My name is Linda Olson. I am the CEO and president of Tampa Bay Wave, and we are a 501c3 organization with a mission to help entrepreneurs accelerate innovation with our world-class programs and networks so that we can drive social and economic change here in Tampa Bay and everywhere else. Programs like the CyberTech Accelerator Program would not be possible if it weren't for the very generous sponsors that support us. The sponsors for the CyberTech X Accelerator Program include Align, Bellini Better World, EY, and KnowBe4. These are our key sponsors for the CyberTech X program. Not only did they provide funding for this program, but all these organizations also provided some expertise in what we call our CyberTech X Accelerator Advisory Council. In addition to members of those organizations, we also had very generous and very talented individuals from other organizations, including Cyber Florida, Bank of America, Raymond James, Ad Item, Digital Hands, Jabil, Sykes, and even we had a retired Brigadier Army General Lee Gray, who spent more than 12 years working in cyber and the information warfare in the DoD. So we're very excited that we had them. This is a very special program. Of course, the 15 companies you're going to hear during tonight's pitch, they are all cyber tech or cybersecurity startups. But this is just one of 3 different 90-day programs that Tampa Bay Wave runs every year. In addition to this CyberTech X Accelerator Program, which actually will conclude later next month with our demo day on April 23rd, we have already begun recruiting for our next accelerator program. This will be year 4 of our Tech Diversity Accelerator Program, which is generally funded by the Nielsen Foundation. This program is very unique. We recruit from companies all across the US as well as beyond. And this is a program exclusively for technology startups that are funded by the underrepresented entrepreneurs. So companies must be at least 51% owned and operated by minorities, women, veteran, LGBTQ founders, and any other underrepresented groups. But for tonight, we're all about our CyberTech X Accelerator Program and the 15 incredible cybersecurity startups that we've been supporting since the program kicked off back in January. In addition to these 15 incredible companies, the program would not be possible without the amazing Accelerator Cohort Director, Dr. Richard Manassi. I'm going to hand the microphone over to him now so he can tell you a little bit more about the program and these exciting companies that you're going to hear pitch tonight. Richard, the microphone's all yours.
Welcome to tonight's pitch night, highlighting the companies in our inaugural CyberTech X cohort. I'm Dr. Richard Manassi, Cohort Director here at the Tampa Bay Wave. First and foremost, I'd like to thank each and every one of you for joining us for tonight's event. All of us here at the Wave appreciate your attendance, and I'm certain you will enjoy hearing from our cohort tonight. I'd also like to thank the Wave Board of Directors, team, mentor network, community, and sponsors for their support of the program, portfolio companies, and the cohort companies that will be pitching tonight. Without each and every one of you, we could not do what we do here at the Wave, which is supporting the best and brightest startups from not only in region, but throughout the United States and abroad. The summer of 2021 will mark the beginning of year 13 of the Wave as a regional leader. Wave was built by founders for founders, and tonight we have quite a group presenting their startups. The inaugural CyberTech X cohort is made up of founders from throughout the United States and abroad. Philadelphia, Seattle, Silicon Valley, Tampa, Denver, London, England, and more are all represented within this group. There's also significant diversity within this group of founders, with women, Latinx, Black, Asian, and military veteran founders all having representation. The group is filled with serial entrepreneurs, technology subject matter experts, former corporate executives, and more. We even have 3 founders that are attorneys amongst the group. Several cohort members have closed SBIR grants for their technologies, several have had early acquisition offers, and several have already oversubscribed their rounds of funding. Top to bottom, I would put this group right up against any other cohort to have come through Wave, and from a technical expertise standpoint, I'd say that they are certainly the best to come through as a group in our 12 years of the program. Without further ado, I'd like to kick things off with our first company, who has a very interesting solution to passwords and identity management. To start our pitch night, here's Arcanum Technology out of Athens, Georgia.
Hi, I'm Brian Pennon, co-founder and CEO of Arcanum Technology. Wouldn't it be nice if you could have one password you could use securely everywhere and you never had to change it regardless of a data breach? These are digital threats that we as individuals and as companies deal with every single day, whether it's on a device, in transit, or in storage. But wouldn't it be nice if our technology could eliminate or mitigate them all? It's time for a smarter, stronger passcode technology. We're going to introduce you to Encode, the world's strongest form of knowledge-based authentication available. So what is an Encode? We've patented a groundbreaking technology that simplifies and secures passwords like never before. It allows us to create a 4-character password that's more secure than any 8 to 16 character password you're using today, and you never have to change it regardless of a data breach. It's so secure somebody can watch you enter your Encode over and over again, and they're going to have no idea what your actual password is. That's just the beginning. So let's take a look at the interface. Obviously, we're using a very common 10-key layout. The idea came because our PIN number had been stolen at an ATM. But if we focus on the right center key, you can see that we've obviously added attributes to that key, the 5 that you can see, but you can also use the color or the position of the key. So if I target that key and you're watching me, you're not going to have any idea which one of those 7 attributes is actually part of my password. And it's just like any other password, we can create it using numbers, letters, shapes, special characters. But again, you can also use the color or the position of the key. But our patent allows us to create this interface using anything that we want to. So think about using things like emojis or Disney characters or NFL logos. Let's see how it works. Simply going to enter my username. I'm going to be presented an interface, and I'm going to enter my Encode directly in front of you. It's just that simple. I'm in my account. But now when I come back to log in, my Encode's exactly the same, red, black, 8-7, but yeah, I have a different key sequence. Simple and secure. But we also can create one using emojis. My actual password here is golf ball, bulldog, red, 1. How simple. But let's talk a little bit more about the attributes. So let's take, for example, the color orange. It has a system value that's this true representation on the back end. So for us, a 3 is not a 3. But what's unique is that we can actually change those system values on the back end every day, every week, every month. And by doing so, we are changing the user's password for them behind the scenes. So it allows that protocol having to have somebody change their password every 30, 60, 90 days go away, because you can manage the user's password for them behind the scenes. Recap: easy to remember 4 characters, exponentially more secure, easy to work with, reset the passwords without hassling users, and obviously we're reducing data breach risk. So what's the ask? Who do you know that could benefit from our encode technology? Thank you.
Hi, my name is Martin Shepard, CEO of Arc Access Control. There's a 1 million worker deficit in cybersecurity jobs in the US. At the same time, the DoD is requiring all of its 350,000 plus companies in its supply chain to be compliant with the CMMC in the next 5 years. Low supply and high demand will make it expensive for small businesses to achieve compliance, and it's cybersecurity, so it's complex and out of the normal scope of things that they're working on. Through plain language, however, Canopy makes it easy for a layperson even, with no background in cybersecurity, to provide meaningful compliance data. Responses from those people feed the Scout report, which identifies gaps, estimates remediation costs, and connects the user to a competitive bid marketplace so that every dollar of the compliance journey is optimized. Assessment frameworks on the platform are free. The report is a nominal fee. An anonymized transaction occurs between the user and the solutions provider in the marketplace, and Canopy applies a transaction fee to the project subtotal. The market opportunity is huge, between 17 and 80 billion in the defense industry alone. Enterprise requirements like SOC 2 and high trust add to the size and durability of that market. The CMMC rollout starts slow, but all companies will need to be assessed compliant by 2026. Our cost to acquire those customers is $750 per. The transaction fees on those customers are worth between $3,000 and $8,000 per. Canopy nets $90,000 in year 1 and nearly $3 million in year 2. That growth is just premised on marketing traction and a need in the marketplace for cybersecurity compliance solutions. Canopy's team understands cyber governance and compliance and has almost 4 decades of experience in cybersecurity, legal, and startup ventures. There are lots of compliance tools in the marketplace. None of them that I've seen map plain language assessment to existing frameworks or allow for competitive bidding. We've accomplished enough to make me hungry for more. We have a proprietary assessment questionnaire, trusted vendors, I have great advisors. We're raising $300,000 for 8 months of runway. I'm focusing on VCs in the Pittsburgh and Tampa ecosystems. Canopy projects to be cash flow positive by month 8, and I'm seeking a year 3 exit. Thank you.
Hello, friends. My name is Noon Eggenberger, and I'm the co-founder of Castle One. Castle One protects startups with an all-in-one cybersecurity solution. We secure passwords, emails, and devices for a simple monthly fee. Top-tier cybersecurity is not the problem. It's readily available. The trouble is that it's not accessible to small businesses. So why is that? Well, there are 3 main barriers, and the first is that it's hard to buy. If you're a startup that needs cybersecurity, you're naturally going to start with the industry leaders, Palo Alto Networks and CrowdStrike. But they don't even want to talk to you. Depending on the product, they have a 50 to 200 employee minimum. So what do? You're left to piece together the solutions of the companies that will work with small teams. Which brings us to the second barrier. It's hard to use. If you do somehow manage to get an in with Palo Alto or CrowdStrike, this is the kind of dashboard you'll be looking at. Very hard to interpret, built for people with IT or cybersecurity expertise. And if you're working with the smaller providers, you've got about 6 of these to string together yourself. Which brings us to our third barrier. It gets expensive. So here's an actual quote from a managed cybersecurity provider. At just 18 employees, it gets up to $126 per employee per month, which is prohibitively expensive for most startups. So enter us, the future of cybersecurity. We'll make it easy to buy, easy to use, and affordable. We take all the best-in-class solutions and bundle them together to leverage economies of scale and create a single unified experience for our customer. With Castle One, implementation is easy. With a link, install a device manager. With another link, install a password manager, and then just provision an admin email account. We take care of the rest. And tomorrow's solution is even simpler. We're building a self-service SaaS app that's executive-facing, so business owners can purchase, upgrade, and monitor their cybersecurity themselves. And it's less than 1/5 of the price of the average contractor. You get automated backups, password management, device management, ransomware protection, and phishing protection, all for $25 per month per employee. And if you want upgrades, we've got upgrades. If you need compliance, remediation, or insurance, we've got you covered. A little more about us. I'm Noon. I do sales and design for Castle One. I've done 3 years of persuasion design research at UW-Madison, and I'm an experienced founder. My co-founder, Nico, does development and operations for Castle One. He's a former cybersecurity researcher at the CIA, and he's also an experienced founder. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch our pitch. We're Castle One, and we're bringing top-tier cybersecurity and making it accessible for small businesses.
Hello and welcome. My name is Jane Ellen Johnson, and I'm with Surveus Inc. Surveus is a cybersecurity company that develops endpoint security products to decrease the security risk across all endpoint devices. Since the onset of COVID-19 in March of 2020, there are now 1.5 billion employees working remotely from home, and this brings about many IT challenges. Businesses are at risk for data breaches, and they are not equipped to manage a dispersed remote workforce. Our solution, the DRisk Security Platform, is comprised of 2 integrated products, DRisk Enterprise and DRisk Mobile. We aim to close the gaps that exist with the lack of adequate security that results in loss of data, loss of privacy, loss of critical infrastructure, and identity theft. Our first product, DRisk Enterprise, is a security information and event management platform that provides data analysis, anomaly detection, and threat mitigation, all through a custom agent. This agent can be deployed to any endpoint device, such as POS, SCADA, and physical security devices. And it provides organizations with an easy-to-use dashboard to manage their assets and infrastructure. Our second product, DRisk Mobile, is our compact portable smart security gateway, which provides complete data protection and device protection for all mobile endpoints. With the most powerful device in its class, our customers are equipped with managing their businesses and instead of worrying about cyber threats. This device incorporates integrated support for Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and cellular functionality. Our game-changing technology introduces our custom Circle of Trust COT architecture, built upon the concept of zero trust, which allows people or devices to communicate in total privacy, creating an undetectable, untraceable, and unhackable environment through peer-to-peer communications. In addition, we have harnessed multiple layers of encryption at the hardware level. DRisk Mobile gives small and medium-sized businesses comprehensive protections by providing low cost of ownership, ease of use, simplified implementation, and customization, all at an affordable price. For our market opportunity, the total addressable market for endpoint security globally is $30.9 billion. We are focused on small to medium-sized businesses who have remote workers and traveling workers. Our initial targets are professional services, local, state, and federal government. In summary, Surveus' DRisk security platform successfully answers the security challenges of remote workers and traveling workers in a secure, scalable, fast, and cost-effective manner. Built with consumer simplicity and powered for enterprise complexity. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Andrew Adams. I'm the founder of CyScore. We're located here in Tampa, and I would like to introduce you to CyScore app, a new line of cyber defense. Cybercrime is a people problem. 72% of organizations allow employees to connect their personal devices like laptops and smartphones directly to their IT infrastructure. Employee devices Our portal and IT systems can also contain passwords and intellectual property that hackers see. So picture a person at work, picture a person at home. We need to make the person at home with access to company data as secure as the person in the office. The change in lifestyle since COVID-19 has led to 43% of the U.S. workforce, or 67.5 million people, working from home. What is CyScore? CyScore is just cybersecurity where Credit Karma is for credit score. We rank your home cybersecurity with our exclusive scoring system based on this standards. We provide your employees with end-to-end cyber solutions with vetted companies. So let's take a look at a quick video showing how CyScore works. The technology is in the cloud, it's simple to use, but what is exciting is our partnerships. We have thousands of opportunities to connect with great companies like Keeper, Malwarebytes, Norton Indicate. Some of our most significant partnerships to date have been with TIPCO, U.S. Department of Homeland Security, and Vintify. We are building a data-driven company. Being data-driven means we understand data value and data monetization. Speaking of monetization, let's look at two key revenue streams. Here you see CyScore Professional and CyScore Lite. We have a subscription model, but if you don't maintain properly, you lower your CyScore. Anticipate subscription revenue of $5.50 per month per user for CyScore Professional, and ad revenue for the light version of 75 cents per month per user. Obviously, CyScore needs a world-class management team to launch a great tech company, and we have it. Our team is stacked with success stories, former CEOs, general counsel, senior developers, cyber experts, and $100 million exits. We're excited to talk to you about our current financial goals and investment opportunities. Thank you.
All right, welcome back, everyone. You've heard from the first 5 of our CyberTech X cohort companies. And before we move on to the next group, we have a special speaker from our advisory council joining us to speak on current cybertech issues impacting society today. Pitar, would you like to introduce yourself before we begin our chat?
Sure, Richard. Thanks for having me. My name is Pitar Besilev. I am the EVP of Cybersecurity and Compliance Services at Align. We are a cybersecurity and compliance firm based out of Tampa, Florida. One of our claims to fame is that we're one of a handful of organizations in the world that can actually do all the IT and security audits that we can actually do. We have about 400 employees throughout the United States, some in Central America, and a few offices in Europe. And again, we've been a part of the Cybersecurity Advisory Board. I've had the opportunity myself to meet some of the organizations, and definitely a very exciting program. And thank you guys for organizing this.
No, thank you for both your help with regards to the cybersecurity cohort in your role as an advisory council member, as well as the support of your organization. And thank you again for joining us today, Pitar. Let's dive right into today's discussion. I'm going to ask you our first question, and that's, with COVID, we're in a new normal, really in multiple ways. How we live, how we work, how we travel, and so much more may never return to how things were prior to 2020. This is certainly the case when it comes to cybersecurity, as distributed workforces, the need to leverage remote communication tools, and more are now foundational pieces of how business is being done. With these changes, what are some of the newest and biggest cyber threats to businesses and individuals today? And what do you perceive are the trends we will continue to see for the coming months and years?
Sure, that's a great question, and I wish we had a few hours to discuss this. I think that's been a pretty hot topic these days, but a couple of things that I can tell you is, one thing is that remote work in some capacity is here to stay. Yeah, when the pandemic comes to an end, I don't believe that the world will be going back to the old normal. There will be a new normal. People will not be going back into a normal office environment just like before COVID. There's certainly a few upsides to remote work. I myself am spending a lot of time working from home, and folks are saving time on commuting. You can focus, you can embrace the collaboration tools for increased productivity, and surprisingly, we've had more happy hours now that we've been working remote than when we were in the office. So, definitely an interesting trend. Remote workforce, as you also know, enables the organizations to reduce some of the operational costs that are tied to a physical office space. We've grown tremendously even during COVID. We've grown 40 to 50%, and we have not had to expand because of that, expand from a physical perspective. So I'm sure a lot of other organizations are reaping some of those benefits. However, one of the challenges, and again, I'll put my cybersecurity hat on, is there's a very different threat landscape now. You're trading off the secure office location where you have a secure network, a secure Wi-Fi, and in certain organizations, maybe a company-issued laptop or a desktop in some cases, with a much more uncontrollable, so to speak, environment. And again, some of those threats could be legacy or unprotected home or other wireless networks, insecure passwords, the use of non-company owned assets that are not enrolled in remote management systems. One thing that I can tell you is there's no way to ultimately remove all of the risk. However, there are ways to minimize that risk. And, I can mention some of those: using a virtual private network, VPN, using a DLP solution. And, besides all the technical options that an organization can employ, endpoint protection. I know some of the organizations were talking about securing endpoints, securing the online messaging platforms. One of the biggest things that we see the need for these days is security awareness. It is hard for an organization to protect their assets if their employees are not aware of what they should be doing and some of the things that they should not be doing. So certainly something to not underestimate. I know Linda mentioned one of the organizations in Tampa that went through an IPO. They have a great platform for security awareness and phishing campaigns and things of that nature. So certainly for the organizations that are not doing much around security awareness training for their employees, and when I say employees, I mean at all different levels, certainly something I would recommend. So Richard, those are the big things. Like I said, the remote work's not going away. So companies just have to adopt that mindset, employ the proper, not only technical, but also some of the more training oriented security measures.
Yeah, absolutely. And if they're not proactive with it, they're going to find themselves, unfortunately, on the wrong side of things and realize that they've been hit and then absolutely having to go backwards and try to fix problems. It's always better to get ahead of it. That's for sure. In a rapidly shrinking world, keeping companies in compliance as they look to cross borders and do business in different countries is no easy fit. How does Align help clients in ensuring that they are staying in compliance and up to date?
That's also another great question. One thing that I can tell you is there is a lot of overlap with the different compliance standards. Whether you're going through a HIPAA assessment or a high trust assessment because you're working on the healthcare side, or you have to do, I know one of the organizations mentioned CMMC, the new Department of Defense standard, or some of the legacy standards such as FISMA or NIST 853, or if you're going through a SOC 1 or a SOC 2 audit, the frameworks all are centered around, call it the lowest common denominator, if you may. How are you securing your data? How are you protecting unauthorized changes from being made to a system? How are you protecting privileged access? How are you encrypting the data? So those are some of the key things. So there is a lot of overlap among those standards. Again, there's a kind of our name alludes to it, Align. How do we align all your needs to, say, one audit? One of the things that we get a lot from our clients is, the concept of audit fatigue. We feel like we're being audited 12 months of the year. We don't get a break. Being able to recognize what those requirements are, being able to map them, and being able to create call it an enterprise, but a custom enterprise framework that fits all your needs is probably one of the best things that organizations can do. So knowing what your expectations are from a compliance standpoint, knowing how they all meet, and knowing how to best organize your assessments every year and your compliance efforts is probably one of the best things that companies can do. Again, this is something that we've been helping companies, find those synergies and create a strategic plan for quite a while now. So, if anyone has any questions, anyone has any need for support, we're happy to assist. A couple of other things, I can tell you the compliance environment is getting more and more complex, but so are the solutions. Again, we have a lot of great organizations within the cohort that are offering, ways to simplify compliance. So certainly taking advantage of some of those solutions is something that organizations should consider. Again, for any additional information, I'm happy to take this offline with anyone that has questions. I'm sure you've probably seen we've had a few conversations with organizations from the cohort related to exactly that question. How do you stay abreast of the ever-changing compliance landscape that seems to come up with a new framework, every other week? And we've had some pretty good progress that we've made there. So certainly happy to expand on that. But I know we're pressed for time, so I'll leave you with this for now.
Absolutely. I think we could talk on compliance and the shifting regulatory nature. Probably for an hour or two.
Yeah.
Shifting gears, though, in January,
Absolutely.
we did kick off the CyberTech X cohort with our 14 CyberTech companies from the US and the one from London. Engagement from corporates like Align, Novo4, Raymond James, Ernst & Young, Jabil, and more has been strong. As a member of the advisory council, tell us a little bit about how you found the cohort as a whole and the program as well.
I would say I was very pleasantly and delightfully surprised by the program. Again, the organizations that we met were pretty exceptional. Some of the products that came up were certainly something that, I personally will be keeping an eye out on. I just want to see, what comes out of it. But ultimately, the organizations were great. The ideas were great. I think the business models were very solid. Some of the solutions were very innovative. And I think I mentioned that to the cohort before. Compliance and security as we know it, it's not a stagnant matter. It changes. It's changed over the past 5, 10, 15 years. It will certainly keep changing as we progress. So organizations like the ones that you have in the cohort are the ones that I'm looking forward to getting some of those new ideas from. I had the chance to personally follow up with a few of them. And again, Richard, I have to tell you, I was very pleasantly surprised by some of the ideas, by the creativity that has gone into some of those business models. And sounds like a lot of those organizations are at a pretty solid point of their development as well. Overall, the program, two things. The cool part that I saw was just the ability to not only interact with peers and get ideas from peers, but also get a lot of ideas from folks like, the folks that sat on the advisory board. Those are potential partners, those are potential buyers at some point, and potential customers. So again, very well structured program. And I was a little jealous that maybe perhaps 10 years ago, Align could have been a part of the program, but certainly very excited for the folks that are in it right now, and definitely very curious to see what comes of it.
Thank you very much. We're very proud of each and every founder that has come through our program, and especially this cohort being the inaugural class, how strong of a cohort they are top to bottom. I certainly feel lucky every day I get to interact with them, that's for sure. So Align has been an integral part of getting this program off the ground. We certainly could not do it without your company nor our other corporate sponsors. What drove Align to want to support the opportunity for a CyberTech-focused accelerator here in the Tampa Bay region? And why does it make sense to you that Tampa is the place to do it?
That's a great question. Our founder and CEO, Scott Price, who was, unfortunately unable to join us today. Some of you might know him, but he's an entrepreneur that's grown multiple businesses within the Tampa Bay area. Again, this is an area that we've personally seen and experienced opportunities for growth and innovation. The CyberTech-focused accelerator is, for us, specifically important because, again, cybersecurity requirements, threats, defenses are constantly evolving. So being happy with what you have will not get you ahead of the, using a technical term, the bad guys or the threat actors. So seeing those organizations that are coming up with those creative and innovative solutions to protect organizations, this is definitely something that, security relies on. Also, cybersecurity is definitely not a check-the-box initiative. It is a constant effort of researching and updating, and those organizations are living that every day. And certainly there is the need to revolutionize cybersecurity and compliance. Many of these startups in the accelerator program have those ideas. And for us, being able to help those companies grow and bring their ideas to fruition is, one, rewarding, but again, two, from a selfish perspective, a very very big leap forward as it pertains to kind of the mission that we're on. How do we keep companies secure? How do we provide companies, the ability to sleep well at night, knowing that they're protected, not only from a compliance perspective, but also from a cybersecurity perspective. As an organization, one of our key values is innovate constantly. And again, being able to pair up with some of those organizations that have those great, brilliant ideas and see them to fruition, again, there's nothing more rewarding than that. And The last portion to this, Richard, I know you mentioned, how do we see the Tampa Bay region? I mean, Tampa's been very, very, I'd say it's probably one of the best areas in the country, personal opinion. And I've been to quite a few places. I've lived in several European countries. I've lived in other states and spent the last 7 years in Florida. It's just the business environment, the people, the support that organizations are providing here. It's great. And, certainly having this year, having the Super Bowl champions and the sunny weather, the palm trees and the beaches is definitely a very big plus. So certainly one of the best places for a tech startup and one of the best places just in general to live. So I'll leave you with that.
Yeah, absolutely. We are all very lucky to be here at this particular time. Timing is everything in the world of startups and in business. And I know I feel lucky every single day being able to be part of a great organization like The Wave, which is really the tip of the spear when it comes to innovation here regionally with regards to the startup space. And, it does certainly take a village, and Align, your company, as well as many of the other corporate sponsors that are part of this advisory council, as well as the supporters throughout our community, are really what allows us to help these great companies out and build the next great group of founders to be the next Aligns right here in our own backyard. Thank you again, Peter, for joining us today on this quick chat to talk about all things cybersecurity and secure tech. I certainly found this conversation of significant value, and I learned a lot. So thank you again to you, Scott, and your complete organization. With that, we are going to transition over to our next group of companies pitching tonight. And to kick things off, I'd like to introduce you to Rachel Cash, whose company Elroy is here today from Detroit, Michigan.
Hi, my name is Rachel Cash, and I'm the founder of Elroy. Elroy is a data privacy management solution for both enterprises and consumers. For consumers, there's a lack of control over their data, with 85% of global customers wishing they had more companies they could trust with their data. For enterprises, there are over 100 global privacy regulations in which a company must comply with. The data protection marketplace is projected to reach $158 billion by 2024. For Elroy, we believe in duality to solve this problem. Our consumer solution provides consumers data visualization for both the company they provide data and the data elements they provide that company. We've also centralized the location to action their rights under the CCPA, California Consumer Privacy Act, and the GDPR. We've also simplified those privacy policies for our consumer base. For our enterprises, we help them achieve tactical compliance. We provide a solution that is set up within minutes and save up to 4 man-hours per request. We have built-in regulatory controls as well as automated emails to meet the compliance requirements. We are road mapping our companies to strategic compliance. Our enterprise solution provides automated data mapping, data disposal, data return, and operationalizing do not sell. In 2018, while companies continued to try to comply with the GDPR, 67% feared they wouldn't be able to sustain it, with the average company spending over $1.2 million annually on privacy. Elroy's goal is to make this a sustainable solution. In terms of milestones, we're excited to be on track for both our Q2 launch of our consumer solution and our Q4 launch of our greater enterprise solution. We've built traction and connected with over 20,000 consumers via events and awareness building and have launched our enterprise pilot program. On our team, we have attorneys from both New York, California, New York, Michigan, and North Carolina. And on our technology team, we have over a combined 60 years of experience. We're in a funding round and raising $1.6 million that will give us a 18-month runway. Let's recreate the data ecosystem together. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Chris Wentz, and I'm the founder of EveryKey. At EveryKey, we are on a mission to bring easy and secure authentication to everyone in the world. We're going to replace your passwords and keys because, let's face it, they have become insecure and inconvenient. I have a big bulky keyring that I have to take with me everywhere I go. I also have hundreds of different passwords that I manage on a daily basis. Most people are guilty, unfortunately, of using the same password password for everything. And this has caused over $2 trillion lost every year due to password-related data breaches. This is outdated, this is broken, we need to find a better solution. Introducing the revolution of access control, which we call EveryKey. EveryKey is a small Bluetooth device that replaces all of your passwords and all of your keys. When EveryKey is close to your phone, your laptop, your tablet, the door to your house, your car door, your bike lock, your office door, anything else that would require a key or password to unlock, EveryKey unlocks that for you. It also logs you into all of your different website accounts and app accounts that you use throughout the day. It also locks everything back down and logs everything back out when you walk away, so everything's safe and secure when it's out of your trusted hands. Let's take a look at how EveryKey stacks up against the competition. We are both a hardware security key and a password manager all rolled into one. And we're the only solution out there that is fully wireless. We actually have a patent on one-to-many wireless authentication, which allows us to bring this product to market. And bring it to market we have. We have sold over $2.5 million worth of products, shipped over 30,000 units, and our users love us. 74% of them are active on the product, and that's gotten the attention of Forbes and Fortune, Wall Street Journal, and many other large publications. Let me introduce you to the EveryKey team. Myself and my business partner are both serial entrepreneurs, and we're joined by investors and advisors that are industry legends, people like the former CEO of Chrysler, the former president of Chrysler and General Motors, the founder of Penske Corporation, and the founder of Ripple. Welcome to the revolution of access control. Welcome to EveryKey.
Hello, I'm Nick Ascoli, founder and CEO of Fortrace. In my career as a cybersecurity consultant working with Fortune 500 security organizations, I was exposed to a problem experienced by virtually all of my clients, who relied on third parties and vendors to deliver mission-critical functions of their business and handle their sensitive and regulated data sets. These organizations had no way to effectively assess and monitor the cybersecurity hygiene employed by organizations which played a critical role in their digital supply chains. This was becoming increasingly problematic as the volume of supply chain attacks experienced a meteoric rise. In 2020 alone, 694 companies were confirmed victims of a third-party breach or supply chain attack, which affected a total of just over 42 million individuals. This not only impacts the trust placed in the organization from their customers, but in many cases causes disruptions to operations and requires expensive remediation, averaging around $7.5 million just to control the breach. The total addressable market is projected to be at $6.8 billion by 2024. Fortrace offers a SaaS solution to approach the problem of third-party risk management and attack surface monitoring in a more effective manner than any of the offerings currently on the market. Our approach places considerably more emphasis on accuracy, speed, and price. With Fortrace, our customers can assess and monitor the attack surface of their organizations and their vendors with the same exact tools and techniques as the actual attackers that target them every day. With our modular design and serverless architecture, we're able to keep our platform updated with emerging reconnaissance techniques at a rapid pace. Our approach employs a customizable assessment algorithm, so our users can run assessments and monitoring using only the techniques which matter most to them or are relevant to their organization, helping save resources and budget through rapid and targeted assessments that have a defined scope. We're enrolling our first customers into the product in April of this year. We've already started generating revenue through partnerships with organizations who are leveraging our data collection architecture for use in their products. At Fortrace, we aim to introduce a new and more effective approach to third-party risk management and attack surface monitoring by allowing our customers to see their environment through the eyes of an adversary. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Derek. I'm the founder and CEO of Gridlock. Gridlock is a new, easy, unbelievably secure way to store cryptocurrencies. To tell you why this is needed, let me take you back to 2009 when my friend introduced me to Bitcoin. It was new, it was interesting, it was going to change the world, and I got involved. I mined my Bitcoin for a while, but life got in the way and I moved on, and sometime between then and now, I lost the encryption key that gave me access to that Bitcoin. Back then, when you mined Bitcoin, you did it 50 units at a time. 50 Bitcoin is worth $2.5 million. And my story is not unique. Over the past decade, thefts, accidents, mistakes like mine have accounted for more than 100 billion in lost assets. And that's because storing cryptocurrency is hard. There's only two ways to do it. You can trust a third-party exchange, or you can do it yourself. And the problem with both of these solutions is that they are single points of failure. With Gridlock, we're solving that problem. What we do is we split and distribute assets across multiple devices, getting the aggregate protection of all devices. This is more than simple cloud backup. We're using advanced cryptography like threshold signatures and trusted execution environments to secure your assets. Even if some devices are lost or destroyed, you can recover 100% of your assets. Even if some devices are stolen or hacked, attackers get nothing. The market for this is enormous, with cryptocurrency valued at over $1 trillion and expected to grow 32% year over year. Secure storage alone has recurring revenue of $42 million. And that doesn't include any of the value-add services that we can add on top of that storage. I love talking about our competitors. Our closest competitor, Argent, has high growth and has already validated the market, but they are limited to 30% of the market that we can reach. This is due to the technology that they use, and that can't be changed. Zengo is another competitor, but they use a centralized 2 of 2 threshold signature, which actually increases the risk of theft. We have a great team of developers, distributed systems engineers, and cryptographers building this product. If you'd like to hear more, please reach out to me and we can discuss further. Thanks.
My name is Zach Eikenberry, and I'm the co-founder and CEO of Hook Security. And we need to begin with an announcement. Within the next 30 days, Hook Security will complete an acquisition event in which we return incredible value to our current stakeholders. So I'm here to talk to you about a new company, PeopleSim. After 3.5 years of working with the enterprise, we discovered a chronic pain point, a problem. In most enterprises, their monitoring and alert system, known as a SIM, does not properly integrate with their human resources, learning management, and security awareness training tools. PeopleSim is designed to solve this particular problem. Enterprise companies can finally marry all of their systems together without marginalizing their people-facing tools. In doing so, we fully inform zero trust policies and give an edge to companies who need to address their insider threat problem. Through the latest in self-learning technology, PeopleSim integrates all of the people systems, from your human resource to your learning management to your security awareness tools, and to your existing larger monitoring and alert system. There is no need to compete or replace a current tool. Now, if you would like to learn more about why this tool doesn't exist, why now, and our unique opportunity with IP, I would love to talk with you further. Regardless, this is a blue ocean opportunity in which the first mover gets a chance to carve out a unique niche and add tremendous value to the enterprise security posture. I myself have been a serial entrepreneur, and I'm currently going through my third exit, and I look forward to going through an exit with you in the future. Thank you for your interest in PeopleSim.
Off of mute. All right. Okay. So we just saw 10 companies and we've got 5 more. So please don't go anywhere. We've got 5 really exciting companies to wrap up this night's program. But first, I just wanted to mention a huge shout out to all of our sponsors, including our advisory council. This advisory council helps make this program incredibly special. Folks like Peter Besilev that you already got to see earlier tonight from Align, Eric Cron from KnowBe4, Scott Margulies with Ernst & Young, Christopher Rogers with Sykes Enterprises, Asa Murad with Bank of America. We also have Keishan Sreedharan from Raymond James, Jed Young with Jabil, Vince Roca with Digital Hands, Lee Gray, who's a retired Army Brigadier General with 12 years of cyber and information warfare experience, as well as Ernest from Cyber Florida. All of you guys have been incredible partners to our program, and we couldn't do it without you. As many people know, we are a 501c3. We are a nonprofit, but we also take zero equity from any of these companies that we support across all of our programs, and not just the CyberTech Accelerator program. We run 3 different 90-day programs, CyberTech being one of them. We also have a year-round program for startups that want year-round support called our core membership. Across all of these programs, we're supporting over 100 companies right now, and we take zero equity from any of them. So the community support is really critical for making these programs work, and hopefully shining a light on what's happening in the Tampa Bay region in the cybersecurity industry. I also want to make a quick shout out to my amazing WAVE team. Dr. Richard Benassi, you are just the key that holds all of these programs together. Every time we do one of these programs, the companies rave about Richard Benassi and the support he provides them. So we are very fortunate to have him both at Tampa Bay WAVE and the Tampa Bay community. And Jonathan Trong, who is behind the scenes, working his magic day in, day out. We're so grateful to have both of you as part of our CyberTech Accelerator program team. One final reminder, as I was mentioning, we're already recruiting for our next 90-day program, the Tech Diversity Accelerator program. The applications for that is April 30th. But meanwhile, for those of you who may either want to attend our demo day or have investors that you know who should be attending the demo day for this program, the CyberTech Accelerator program, that will be April 23rd, please visit our website. There's an opportunity there for you to sign up and register to attend. So we hope that you will join us. Anyways, back to the show. 5 more companies, don't go away. And we appreciate having you with us tonight. Thank you.
Cybersecurity incidents and data breaches are in the news constantly. So what are companies doing to prevent these? Well, they're doing a lot, spending significant amounts of time and human capital on the latest tools, technologies, and techniques. The problem is we're still losing. Despite all of these cutting-edge approaches, almost every company struggles with the simple question of how secure are we? I'm Will Robus, CEO of Outpost Security, and I'd like to tell you about how Outpost Security is making Fortune 500 companies more secure. Outpost Security reorganizes all of the tools and talent inside of a large organization's security stack. We achieve this by implementing a smarter and faster brain in the middle of a company's security organization. For those of you that know Splunk and security, we implement a Splunk add-on app. The team responsible for monitoring and responding to potential threats inside of the Fortune 500 company see immediate value by orders of magnitude, with reduced security alert volume and increased alert fidelity. Most importantly, we allow for real-time coordination across all security activities, allowing a company to fully leverage their security tools, data, and investments. The market opportunity for cybersecurity is large and growing. Data is the new gold, and cybersecurity is solely responsible for protecting it. Security Incident and Event Management Software, or SIEM, and Security Orchestration Automation Response Software, or SOAR, are just 2 subsets of the overall cybersecurity market, and we are aiming to impact up to 10% of these market segments over the next 3 years. Our team has started small, but very efficiently. Stuart brings the technical mind to the company, having spent over 15 years in enterprise IT security, as well as a pioneer and thought leader around the methodology we leverage known as risk-based alerting. I bring startup and management experience to the team, having held C-level roles for multiple technology companies, as well as raising venture funding for one of them. We started the company in fall of 2019 and have seen strong traction so far, having acquired 3 large customers. Our pipeline is comprised of a mix of Splunk and partner-driven leads, as well as organic leads from our technical leadership efforts. We plan to build on this early market validation over the next 3 years and are looking to add to our team and sales pipeline. Our vision is to make every company and their customers' data as secure as they can be. Thank you.
Phylum provides the first platform that fully automates understanding of software supply chain security and allows open source risk to be quantified in a meaningful way without requiring a huge team of security researchers on the back end. If we take a step back, the root of this problem is really twofold. First of all, open source software, both its use and the ecosystems around it, have changed dramatically in recent years. Not only are the people using it now more than ever. In fact, a recent survey by Synopsys found that across the board, not only is almost everyone using it, but most projects contain on average around 70% open source software. Additionally, the ecosystems around these open source projects and packages have increased in size at a nearly exponential rate. If we look back at 2015 and we just drill down on JavaScript and NPM in isolation, which is one of dozens of these ecosystems, it had about 12,500 packages. Now, fast forward to present, only 6 years later, and there are over 1.5 million in production, which really means that now we have a huge problem. Most projects are comprised primarily of open source and thus now have a huge attack surface, relatively speaking. And overall, it's far too large and complex to manually audit. And while there are some existing products that operate on the market that speak a lot about supply chain risk management, they all effectively do something very simple and rudimentary. They only inspect, by and large, the deliverables and what packages they maintain. They give back sort of a software bill of materials, if you will, and also a list of things like vulnerabilities and license issues that come along with that. This is really like doing a supply chain inspection of a vehicle by looking at cars as they arrive at the dealership. It doesn't really inspect the software supply chain, and ultimately it's not very effective in detecting anything beyond those sort of two categories of issues. The end result of this now is that tens of thousands of anonymous developers are able to indirectly control the software that's downstream from these open source libraries. And to get an idea of how this impacts organizations tactically, we can take a quick case study with React, which is a very popular library maintained by Facebook and used by many organizations around the world. It has nearly 7,000 possible transitive dependencies if you pull in every layer of packages that it brings along with it and requires. And so this is now much too large to audit, especially as things change over time. And so what Phylum has done in order to get our arms around this is we've really built a big data analytics platform that automates the collection and analysis of the entire open source ecosystem at scale. It allows us to inspect everything from software source code, information about authors, open issues in places like GitHub and GitLab, and a bevy of additional information, both public and private. With that, we layer on heuristics, machine learning models, and a variety of other analytics that allow us to compute a reputation score, which you can think of as a sort of credit score for these packages. And from that, we provide essentially a SaaS offering that fits into the entirety of the software development lifecycle, from developer workstation all the way through to production.
Hello, I am Michael Frazier, co-founder and CEO of Refactor. Talent shortage and lack of collaboration is making DevSecOps solution delivery automation impossible. DevOps and cybersecurity teams are experiencing a massive talent shortage, dealing with tool overload, manual remediation, and burnout. This is being fueled by enterprises modernizing due to the massive increase in cloud adoption and security initiatives brought to the forefront by recent cyber attacks like SolarWinds. The end result: tool sprawl, human error, downtime, and an increase in cyber attacks costing enterprises millions of dollars. I came up with the idea for Refactor seeing this problem firsthand, starting out my 18+ year career as a cybersecurity engineer in the Air Force and crossing over into the developer world. The solution: a radically simple solution delivery automation platform made to bridge the gap between DevOps and cybersecurity. So how do we bridge this gap? We focus on 3 areas: collaborative automation, building in security to achieve DevSecOps, and integrating tools you love to build modern solutions. Enterprises and government customers are using Refactor to solve a variety of DevSecOps use cases. One use case is where customers are doing away with manual spreadsheets and instead are building solutions to automate CIS benchmark assessments against cloud-native infrastructure and perform remediation. This is just one way we're making DevSecOps a reality. So how do we do this? First, we support tools that both DevOps and cybersecurity teams love. We are incredibly easy to use. With our low-code drag-and-drop pipeline builder, creating security-first solution pipelines is now a collaborative process. Our platform also seamlessly integrates into your existing DevOps and Agile IT workflows. Finally, We accelerate time to value through our solution catalogs, where cybersecurity vendors, system integrators, and enterprises can offer pre-built modern DevSecOps solutions for self-service use. Refactor is addressing a $15 billion market in DevOps and SOAR. We have an annual subscription-based licensing model with 17 customers, over 70 on our freemium community edition, 20 active pilots, and a massive deal pipeline with over 100 active deals. In 2020 alone, we experienced 300% year-over-year growth in revenue and are on track to exceed that growth in 2021. We were also selected into the Alchemist Accelerator and here for the Tampa Bay Wave Accelerator with our traction, and also have an Air Force AFWERX SIBR Phase 1 and Phase 2 award with the Air Force's Platform 1 DevSecOps initiative that we're using to boost exposure and create a network effect of adoption. Refactor makes radically simple low-code DevSecOps solution delivery automation a reality.
Hi, my name is Vijay Sundar, and I'm the founder and CEO of SmartD, and we are based in Bay Area, California. SmartD is a risk-based cybersecurity program management and analytics platform. We see a huge challenge in security and IT teams stitching data from disparate enterprise security and SaaS tools, orchestrated, and ability to apply and manage investments properly. 88% of the breaches are due to not paying attention to the right spots and inability to articulate and defend the value. From SmartD perspective, it means the following three things. Limited extended visibility to assets. Cyber risk management remains a ad hoc process. Inability to communicate consistently the value of cyber risk and investment to business executive and the board. Market is fragmented with security tools and services vendors in the following four categories: threat intelligence, GRC, enterprise SaaS, and managed security service providers. SmartD is in the middle of this emerging space, bridging data from these tools to provide an integrated, risk-based platform for cybersecurity program and financial management. So the cybersecurity space is hot, growing year over year at the rate of 8%. SmartD stitches security data and process together to give you the ability to prioritize and manage your investments decisions through integrated governance and compliance, roadmap and program management, and financial management modules. SmartD also brings an indirect value in bridging the organizational gap between security and compliance, IT operations, and program management, enabling seamless collaboration between these groups. We are currently working with top retail, logistics, and managed service providers and in discussion with several potential customers. Our current revenue for this year is $280K ARR with a projected ARR of $1.5 million. Our customers start with us by either managing their governance and compliance programs or managing their asset portfolio. We have assembled a great team and a very active board of advisors. We are currently seeking $3 to $4 million in funding to build our sales and marketing and development team. We are very excited on the opportunity and the traction we are gaining, and hopefully we can have one of you part of our journey. Thank you and looking forward.
Hi, I'm Jeremy, co-founder and CEO of Torsteer. Torsteer is a software assurance solution that continuously audits every team's code, tools, and processes to ensure product security, governance, and compliance. Did you know software vendors account for more than half of today's cyber breaches? Not only is healthcare the most expensive, but software risks are everywhere and are infecting their customers. This is why we are focused here. Existing tools are blind to many of the security weaknesses hackers are leveraging to compromise software delivery processes, and the recent SolarWinds attack puts it on center stage. With this new awareness around unknown supply chain risks is where we come in with our continuous assurance platform. A single team can have 20 to 50 tools, and every team could be different. Multiply that across your entire organization, and this chaotic complexity accelerates your risks. Torsteer sits on top of these tools to help teams prevent product risks while giving management and executives real-time line of sight and control. By connecting to your tools our customers already use, we can give an always up-to-date, comprehensive product inventory. We can then help automate guardrails to enforce a culture of security. Then we turn regulation into a living thing with teams responding in the flow of work every day. Then speed new revenue with evidence-based risk management for their enterprise customers. So we have two customers, software vendors and their enterprise customers. With continuous assurance, both can automate proactive risk intelligence, saving DevSecOps and compliance hundreds of hours on manual and often error-prone reporting. Now everyone can focus their energy and budgets on areas with the biggest returns. Through customer discovery, including learnings from Fortune 1000 companies and rapidly filling sales pipeline, we have confirmed a need, and additionally, we just closed a two-year contract at $75K ARR. A lot of people have confused us with existing tools, but we don't fit in a box. We are uniquely positioned with a comprehensive offering to meet small to mid-sized software vendors where they are and evolve with them. We have made significant progress for funding, raising $250K pre-seed, and recently investors wiring funds for our seed round. For IP, we commercialized existing IP for a significant head start and just received official patent notice of allowance. For product, we successfully pivoted into regulatory needs and market demands with a working platform. TourSeer was built by experienced enterprise CTOs and CISOs for software leadership. We have several successes under our belts. So join us at TourSeer and let's secure our critical software supply chains. Thank you.
Thank you again for joining us for tonight's pitch night, highlighting the companies in our inaugural CyberTech X cohort. I hope you enjoyed hearing from the group, all of whom are doing amazing things. I'd like to also thank the Wave team, Mentor Network, Board of Directors, community, and the sponsors of the CyberTech X cohort for their support of this group. With Demo Day for the CyberTech X cohort right around the corner, I'd like to invite any investors in attendance who would like to attend to please reach out to me or anyone on the Wave team at your earliest convenience. We can be reached via LinkedIn or by emailing us at demoday@tampabaywave.org. Please stay safe out there in these odd times, and I look forward to seeing all of you again soon, hopefully live and in person. Have a great night, everyone.